How's it going, guys? Back with an update on the Storm Rain. I've made it to level 90, and not much has changed as far as gear goes. Although I did swap into the Impulsa instead of the Queen of the Forest, which has just proved to be a little better. Exploding stuff is great. The only other thing I replaced was the amulet. I had this amulet that I previously converted into talisman, giving me quant. Only quant gear that I've gotten on um, this character. Currently, I did go get my trinket, so monsters have an 8% chance to duplicate drop rogue markers. That's just giving me more rogue markers from running these maps. And I've also been running Delve on this character. Anything else changed? I exalted my Abyss Jewel, got myself 14 intelligence, which was fire there. But let's go over other things. I put in a portal with Cast on Death. This was helping running these T3 towers that I evolved. Not using dash, sticking with Frostblink. Be really cool to get the gloves from Simulacrum that don't drop from Simulacrum anymore, as far as I understand. I don't know. Then it would cause enemies in my chilling areas to take increased lightning damage, and would also allow my lightning damage to sap as well as shock, which lowers enemies' damage. That would be great. I would love that. So, anything else here? Still running those, still running that stuff. None of the links have changed. Only other thing I've changed was I added an increased duration. I added a Vol Haste. I removed Vol Grace, put in a normal Grace, and now I'm just running Vol Haste. That is because I went and I did my Uber Lab. So Uber Lab, I got Wind Ward. Wind Ward allows you to take 3% less damage per Gale Force, but you lose them all when hit. So Gale Force is what gives Tailwind and increases the effect of Tailwind on you. And you gain one whenever you use a skill. So the faster I am, the faster I gain up Gale Force. And I noticed an issue with using, once I did that, at this point, anytime you get hit with spell damage, even though you're suppressing it and taking less damage, you're still losing all of your Gale Force. So that was the time I decided, and yeah, we got a lot to go over on this tree. I decided that I was going to grab Acrobatics and not use the spell suppression anymore as it is, instead convert it into spell dodge. So effectively, on full life, I got 54% chance to dodge spells. So if I have 100% chance spell suppression and I take 50% damage from it, effectively, if I dodge a spell hit and then I get hit by the next one, I'm still taking 50% damage. So effectively, spell dodge is working about the same, but I get hit less, so I can keep these stacks of Gale Force up more, and then take less damage. Just good. So, I put the Thread of Hope in here. It allowed me to unspec a lot of stuff. As it reaches Quick Step, gets one with Nature, gets Primordial Force, gets both of these bow nodes, gets Forces of Nature, and gets Aspect of the Eagle. I lose 15% all res for that, and the worst part about it, like, I don't mind losing these nodes here, and it opened up the ability for me to push all the way up here, get Heart of Thunder and whatnot, instead of putting it here. The only thing it really hurt to lose was this Elemental Mastery that gave 15 to all resistances. That hurt. There's one here as well. This is also the source of Reflect Elemental Damage. mitigation, because if you take this node plus, I believe, Pantheon right here, take 50% reduced reflected damage. That's reflect immune. And that's not just like on the tree up here anymore. So, no other way to really get that. So what else have I done with the tree? I wound up pushing down here to get this thick skin, chance to avoid ailments. I was thinking about coming down here to get ailment avoidance. I didn't. I grabbed Entrench. I used to have critical strike chance is increased by chance to suppress spell damage. Once you convert that into spell dodge, it doesn't work the same. So I lost all of that crit chance. So in turn for that, I took the note up here, 80% crit chance against shocked enemies. Then I think I might have done this yesterday, getting the additional curse, but I got influence further. Like I'm just like juicing the crit chance and evasion. Since all of this is like flat, this is flat evasion. This is flat lightning damage. Like every little bit boosts that top end number of core effect. So that's what I've been kind of going for. Because there's more damage up here, but I've kind of been focusing on. I think life needs to be my next focus. So my last node, I got a jewel that had some survivability. But now, since I swapped everything, pushing down here to get like reflexes, this is 5% spell dodge, plus increasing my evasion. So if I can get into this area, I'm gonna get I can cap my spell dodge, and yeah, that would be great. And then it would give me access to profane chemistry, and then potentially over here to Scion Life Wheel, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work yet. Something I do want to get is I would like to fill this leftover mana with like an aspect of the spider. But I guess now I should show you how it's going. What we've got going on. So I'm gonna run this Drox map, but first I'm gonna show like Delve. Like I've been pushing. I made my own little side path over here. Like I've been farming on the other character, and then filling up Delve, and then running it on this character. So I've just been kind of cruising through Delve. Let's go right here. Do one Delve node, then I'm gonna try and kill Drox. It seems ambitious, but like I could have just run T3 towers, but I decided like I want to get this character leveled, so grind it up to 90, and a lot of it's just been from Delve, and I've been really trying to get that last craftable watchstone out of all those rests, and I cannot get an invitation to drop. It's just like stuck. But yeah, this is T15 monsters. Just getting wrecked by this build. I haven't done it in maps. Like all I've done is Delve. So I don't know how this Drox fight's gonna go. It could be bad, but I have a feeling this character is just pretty boss. Actually. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue. And I very, very recently, it was like one of the last things that I did was switching to the spell dodge. I also lost the mastery that was giving me phasing, so kind of tempted to put the flask back on. For the spell suppression, which will be a little bit of extra dodge, but it'll give me phasing. Not having phasing has been a little wonky. I didn't even hit it with the Assassin's Mark there, so I got the Frostbite on hit. I would love to get Elemental Weakness on hit, but that's just where we're at with it. So that was the only one of those I could do. So that's what I've been doing to level. I've been grinding T14 towers with all the sextants and everything. It's much better not to remove all these sextants or the watchstones every time. But when I do remember to move the Watchstones, I drop like 8 maps in a single map run. And I've not seen 300 stacks yet. The highest I've seen is 299. No joke. I've not seen 300 stacks, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. So let's see if this character is capable of killing bosses in its current state. I know there are things that can be improved. T16 map, I'm gonna run it white just because I'd rather get it done. And we'll do the Scourge in this and everything as well. I'm not really worried. I haven't pushed a 16 delve, but that's okay. I've also really considered switching my Abyss Jewel to one that gives me phasing. Now, I'm not just going to instantly, like, one-shot stuff. In here, like, I am T3 maps. Those T3 towers, it's a joke. Like, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I could probably full sin, like, way more quant gear because I got so much damage on this bow. But there is one thing I want. Like, I want to get the 15% elemental damage, I think it is. Like, 2%, every 2% quality gives you 1% elemental damage. I need to get that craft on here. That's the only thing I feel like I'm really lacking on gear until I can awaken her orb. An amulet replacement that I'll lose the quant on, but I should gain upwards of like 22 lightning pin, which is something I really, really want. And the build works just like Toxic Rain, though. It plays the same, but it lingers. So you don't have to hit, like, when you're scaling Toxic Rain, that initial, like, pop of the little pods is where all your damage comes from. And if it hits the enemy, it's taking the damage, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So my damage lingers, and I can just, like, ramp it up if I need to focus on a single target, let alone the totems and the Vol Haste that gives me 31% attack speed. That might be before my, like, aura effect from the tree, which, like, I am one node from another 15% aura effect. I've been saving the, like, Vol Haste for that, and I was running Vol Grace, but Vol Grace makes suppressed spell damage unlucky, so that would mean that while Vol Grace is up, spell damage that hits you rolls twice and takes the lower value. We don't really need that. We just don't. I forgot about Scourge here, but let's go grab some of it. So stuff, like, I'm not just one-shotting and obliterating everything in this map like I do in T3 maps. The T3 maps, like, literally, I'm volleying them. I'm volleying the maps. I don't care. Like, I can handle whatever. Not worried at all. Sometimes I die because you push that Scourge number up high enough. Like, it gets kind of nonsense. This character is going to have the same, like, downfall as most characters that I play, is that it's an evasion-based character. Physical damage, especially attacks, is going to hurt, but the idea is actually stack enough evasion that you're rarely going to get hit for any kind of meaningful amount. Oh, and look, yeah, I died. That's okay, because I throw on my stuff, I go right back in the portal, and voila, we keep going. Kind of what I've been focusing on delve to level, because things don't get as hairy down there. And Scourge is kind of nasty, and I'm about to, like, go big on this nurse card farm, so I'm just going to be chilling in T3 maps with this character anyways, so get the levels cranked out of the way, and then we'll go do that. I've never played with an Inpulsa before, honestly. I feel like the explosions are kind of hard to see at first, but I've gotten used to it. They're really quiet as well. Not like the big pops from like your Gloom Shrine or your Cultist or the bleed pops from Gladiator. Even the shatters, like, it's pretty quiet. But the things explode. Ooh, and I got a bunch of ancient orbs. I've been using my Harbinger Scarabs. Going back and forth between this build and the other build kind of is a little jarring too, because I gotta throw portals down on that build. And straight up, they got about the same clear ability going on. And while the other build has the Elemental Aegis, so like I can really tank a lot of elemental damage on the other character, this one gets the Gale Force, and I can just straight up, like, this entire time I've been running around here, I haven't been hit, and then when I do get hit, I take 24% less damage from that, just like in general, which seems pretty great. Like, I think it would struggle with like reduced extra damage from crits and big like monster life. Alright, so this is the first thing I've dropped the on this, I just dropped the Assassin's Mark and I dropped the totems. I did not press the Vol Haste for this boss. And I do not have Frenzy Charges, as I was not running Blood Rage this whole map, which I could have been doing, but did not. But we'll use the Vol Haste on the other boss. Oh, and that. Something I've been thinking about as well is trying to get whatever, maybe it's called Frostite or Galesight or whatever the helmet is that can convert your chill into brittle. That's something I'm interested in. If I can inflict brittle on stuff, we ain't gonna worry about crit chance at that point. But yeah, this is a T16 Drox, like, unbuffed in any other way. And I did stay away from using the All's Uprising. I felt a little bad about just like, okay, I'm just going to roll a new character and throw on this kind of GG amulet that is actually worth like 22 exalts when I looked it up, where the Purity of Elements has no reservation. And I'm honestly surprised. I'm surprised this character is doing this right now. Straight up. I didn't think this character might like be able to like compete like in red maps even. And I died here. Stupid banners, man. This character was to speedily farm T3 maps, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, it actually kind of wrecks. It can do your red maps. And with some more like gear optimization, like, you can probably just clear the game with it. So I focus on leveling instead of farming too many of the towers. Tower sustain is crazy though. Like, I went from 1 map to 4, then 4 maps to 9, and sometimes that's forgetting the... to take the watchstones out. You just, like, multiply maps. But another thing about running T3 maps at this point in my, like, league progression is I don't need to pick anything up. I just pick up 6 sockets and currency. Pretty much it. I've been picking up the heist contracts as well, just because I'm trying to, like, bulk up so I have stuff of everything in there. And that's probably what I'm gonna work on if I get bored of farming the towers. I'll start piecing together my heist stuff. Totems can die too, which is kind of annoying. Happens with Toxic Rain totems too. I was constantly using that on Caustic Arrow builds. But the reason I liked Caustic Arrow more than I like Toxic Rain is because it would leave an area of ground that did the damage. So, like, if enemies are chasing me, like, they're following through all this that I'm throwing down. I don't gotta worry about anything. And the damage piles on when these totems get out. Assassin's Mark is very helpful too. Only getting up to 23 shock on him. At times, I don't know what it is that's doing something different. Well, I guess he was in the bubble, so he's taking less damage, because now it's sitting at 15, which is a little better. Come on. Almost there, buddy. There we go. Boom. T16 Drox with Storm Rain. Fun stuff. Yeah, there's still a lot that can be upgraded on this too. Like, it's fully upgraded, like set up for mapping. Like, Inpulsa is not what I want for fighting bosses. This is what I want for clearing screens and monsters. So, the one downside of Inpulsa though is I'm not really scaling like lightning damage in general, or spell damage, which I believe might affect. I don't know. I don't know if that explosion counts as spell damage, but I'm not scaling lightning damage outside of these nodes up here, Heart of Thunder, and so those cannot shock, but they can pin. So I could get more lightning pin, but everything else, is lightning ailments, and this is lightning with attacks, and like projectile damage. I really want phasing back. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. This build is so much fun. I'm really enjoying it. Let's use my ancient orbs real quick, and I'll wrap things up. 5. Dump. Nope. But yeah, I got a flame sight. It has life regen on it, but 25% chance to scorch enemies, but cannot ignite. But if I cannot chill, but I have a chance to inflict, what's it called? brittle on enemies instead of chilling, I would prefer that, because that's going to skyrocket crit chance. And this stuff, I hit +1 frenzy charge on these snake bites. Stuff's about to go through the cooking process. Guardian Dawn that has 15 all reds on it. Didn't hit anything right there. And I can drop some damage for phasing right here. Like 6% damage loss for phasing. So, I don't know. Up to 3 nurses though. I only got 1 yesterday. But hopefully that number goes up a lot today, because that's the goal for next one. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.